So everybody knows.
Well, Paul, what are you working on?
Go ahead. Start.
I'd like to call the meeting to order tonight on Wednesday, January 7th. Will, would you call a roll call for us first?
Edie Dundas,
Present.
Zachary Carhide,
Here.
Stephen Miner,
Here.
Paul Wright,
Here.
Lara DiMartino.
Here.
It's all right. Pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. We go and make a motion to adopt the meeting from last meeting.
I make a motion to adopt the minutes from our last meeting.
I'll second that.
Roll
Roll call.
Roll call. Edie.
I approve.
I approve.
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 We have two items on our agenda for tonight. The first one is PLZBA 2025-0058, 113th Street, seeking a area variance. Please state your name, talk into the microphone, address, and the relationship to variance.
Thank you. Good evening, Chair, members of the board. My name is Brian Sipperly with Verity Engineering. We represent the applicant as well as the owner, Matt Demers, from Energy Catalyst Technologies. Again, the address where the variances are being sought this evening. Appreciate that's a little better.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Thanks.
Thank you. I
Brian.
appreciate that. Thanks for the visual clue there. Again, the address is where the variances, just to make a correction, variances. We're seeking a number of variances, not just one this evening. The address is 61 13th Street in Troy. A little bit of background about the property itself. It's zoned mixed use 1 with a neighborhood 2 intensity overlay. The site was once home to Uncle Sam Pipe for a number of years, went vacant for a small period of time and was reoccupied and reused by Energy Catalyst. That happened by a series of events. One is the applicant received an area variance in 2023, in July of 2023, for the building size, the max building size, gross floor area, and the the neighborhood 2 is 2,500 square foot. The building as it lie, which predates zoning, was about 18,000 square feet. So the applicant received a variance back in 2023 from the balance between 2,500 and the existing size of the building as what it is today. Again, the use is currently light industrial. The applicant, again, in 2024, received a special use permit from the city's planning commission at the time. That special use permit was valid for 2 years and is planned to expire in March of 2026. The project that's in front of you this evening is a proposed improvement. That project is in front of the planning board, and that has been deemed a complete application. And as you're aware, that board can't take any further action with reviewing the project, as the project, as it's shown on the site plan, obviously needs some area variance entitlements in order to move forward in that approval process. The lot itself is 2.5 acres. It's irregularly shaped. It fronts 119th Street along with 8th Street Alley. It also has a small amount of frontage on 9th as well. And again, it's principally built with two buildings totaling 15,411. That's the footprint size. I know I related to 18,000 earlier. That's the gross floor area. The building has more gross floor area than it does footprint as measured from above. We really have no streams, no water bodies or wetlands. Access is from 9th as well as 113th. Today, only 113th is principally used. The site's served with municipal water and sewer, along with private utilities, and the abutters are generally residential, all residential in this area, with the exception of the bike trail, as you know, to the east. So, are you able to bring the site plan up? I'll go into the project quickly and just indicate to the board what it is the applicant's looking to do and where the variances are being sought. You can stop there. That's the existing condition survey. We'll have you jump to the site plan in just a second. If I may, for the board, again, the frontage of the property, 9th Ave, it's gated today. 113th, where the principal access generally is. The way the building was built, how it was built, and what it was used for originally, this is a loading area, so it's kind of unique that we have a commercial and or industrial building with loading that occurs within the right of way, just how things were done before. And again, here are the two different buildings that stand today, one principal, one accessory building, and the rest generally being served with asphalt. Can you please bring up the site plan when you get a chance?
Is it above or below that document? Do you remember?
There you go. Good enough. We'll let it fill in. The orientation of this map is a little bit different than the survey you just saw. North is going to be up on this page. Again, 113th Street is here. 9th Ave is here. Here are the two existing buildings shaded in a lighter color of salmon, if you will. The proposal that the applicant is seeking to do is add a 10,000 square foot addition keyed onto the back of the building as such. In addition to that, is proposing to add a small amount of new impervious asphalt on the north end to accommodate for the growth and the need for additional parking for some other reports that were submitted in planning. As you can kind of tell, a part of this addition would remove the need to load and unload materials within the right of way. This facility is being used to, the applicant is investing in automation, so further advancing the tenancy in Troy and looking to grow the business with automation. And so this is going to be a metal building housing more equipment to do assembly of the product, as well as you can kind of indicate where those trucks are. So we're proposing to move the loading with this project out of the right of way and interior of the parcel, which is well wanted by the neighborhood, I would to assume. So again, it's a 10,000 square foot addition, revised loading area. We're going to remove that loading area. We are going to provide for some additional parking on the north end. The proposal is to keep the 9th Ave gate closed. We don't need it. As you can see, the building addition is going to cut off any kind of access around the site. And this is going to be proposed to be banked parking for future employees as the owner ramps up production in the number of years. There has been a TDMP submitted to the planning process, which governs, what the uses are, excuse me, and the parking and trip generation for it. And, lo and behold, why are we here this evening? So this improvement, or this proposed improvement, kicks off the need for 5 different variances. And although it sounds like a lot on paper, I'll just quickly highlight what those are going to be for the board. The first one is max gross floor area allowed in the zone. So we talked about earlier, excuse me, not the zone, the intensity. The neighborhood to intensity has a max 2,500 square foot footprint. Again, the building as it lies today is there with an area variance for the balance between what it is. And we are proposing to increase the total gross floor area on the property to 28,518. And we are seeking a relief of 26,018 square feet. I do have an asterisk next to that relief figure because I'm comparing that number to the 2,500. And I do want to point out that the property does carry an area variance with it to the current size of 18. So we're really just adding 10. But as it relates to how the zoning code looks, that's what it is. The second variance that the applicant requires is a front yard setback, and I'll explain that. The front yard setback in this area is a min-max. The min is 0 foot and the max being 20 feet. The building as it sits today is non-compliant. Clearly, it was built and predates the current zoning. And the applicant doesn't need the addition on the front. The applicant needs the addition keyed onto the rear for numerous technical reasons, as well as it opens up the interior of the site for parking, loading, and access, and other things as well. So again, the way the building department is determining this is, although this building addition is keyed onto the back of the building, its projection into the property's front yard is why we need to seek that variance. And so that dimension is 136.5, max being 20. We are seeking relief for 116.5 feet. Same goes for the side yard setback. In the zone, it is a min-max, 0 min, 15-foot max. And where the building needs to be situated, clearly we're picking up that south wall and continuing that in the east direction. And we do not want to comply to the zoning, and I'll get there in a minute. Accessory parking. So although we generally don't treat alleys as right-of-ways, or excuse me, as right-of-way frontages, we are as it relates to this project, the way it sits in the building department's determination. So we are applying the front yard setback along the one, get technical on here, right? The projection of the short axis of 113th would be the property's true frontage. Everything from this point north along its alley, is it frontage? We don't think so, but we are calling it frontage, and hence we are applying the front yard setback along that entire course of the property line. This proposed small bank of parking here violates a 30-foot setback to the front yard. So I wanted to point out it's to the front yard, but it's to an alley. And last but not least, a variance for transparency. And just to familiarize you all with what that is, it is generally a window code. So the zoning code did not want building facade from left side all the way to right side of a building. And so therefore, a percentage of windows or transparency is required along that building facade. Again, this is a warehouse, and we don't propose that. We want to have the transparency. And so we're asking for the transparency variance as well. So again, those are the 5 variances. It's all kicked off by what the applicant is looking to do by improving the parcel and where the building is situated. I know you do have a zoning board of appeals addendum where what we've done is place on the record factual evidence and justifications for these variances. Unless the board has any specific questions about that, we can get into it. I won't read that line by line, but I think in general, what I wanted to communicate to the board on this one is we don't believe that following the strict application of the zoning on this parcel actually makes sense. If we dive into the applicability of the neighborhood 2 standards along with the mixed use 1. These zoning codes are meant for streetscape properties, right? 0-foot min, 20-foot max. They want you to turn the corner on the sidewalk and have the building be between 0 and 15 feet. It's a streetscape, as well as the transparency items, right? And so where are we? Well, we're not anywhere in Troy where generally this would apply on 4th, 3rd, or any kind of business areas. We front an alley. We're behind a bunch of single family, and we're next to a bunch of single family, and we're just west of the Uncle Sam bike trail. This property does not want to be developed by having this building cut off the property and front the alleyway and be very close to a setback where there's not sidewalk networks and people walking and shopping and things like that as well. So, and the same goes with the side yard setback. So that's kind of about the front, and the same with the side. I mean, these are residential properties that have been cohabitating with commercial and industrial uses for quite a long period of time. And if we were to comply, this building would have to slide all the way to the 15-foot setback line. And we don't think that's the right thing for the neighborhood either. We think there's actually going to be greater concerns for safety, noise, welfare of the public, and the surrounding character of the neighborhood if we actually comply, especially 8th Street. I mean, or 8th Street Alley, if we were to slam that building 20 or even 0 feet off the lot line, not only does it not make the site work internally, it just doesn't fit. Which really comes to the big one, right? Certainly, the building size is substantial, but we want the board to strongly consider, what this site is. It's a large parcel in this zone, so it's kind of unique, being about 2.5 acres, and what the current uses are. The city and the applicant have certainly invested in Troy and to wanting to put a headquarters here, and they're certainly looking to grow and double down on that. And this is what they need on this facility to support that. So. With that, I'll turn it over to the board for any member comments this time.
You said 8th Street, but you meant 8th Ave, right?
8th Ave Alley, thank you.
I don't have any questions.
I've driven by your proposed site twice. I think your plan makes a lot of sense. I think it's well thought out. Just hopefully you can clean up some of that brush between the main building and the end building. Good luck to you with it.
Thank you. Would you mind pointing out the area that you're referring to?
Between
Maybe go to a
the
photograph.
main building with the loading dock as you go north to the apparent old house or office, I think on 113.
These are the only pictures we have.
Might be
There's
photo 2.
I can't see that.
Yeah, if you can blow photo 2, Will.
I've had cataract surgery. It's a blur.
Well, I don't want to slow the meeting down. I can get with you afterwards, so we can just make a note.
Fine job. I think you thought it through. I just
Thank
made
you.
one comment. That's all.
Thank you.
I have a question. In the materials, it's indicated that the development plan will not disturb greater than 1 acre and will not be subject to a DEC Speedies coverage under GP 025-001. Why will it not be subject to that coverage?
Simply because the disturbance will be under 1 acre, and that's where that permit coverage has justification.
Thank you.
Public guy, yes.
We'll open it up to the public. Is there anybody in the public who'd like to come up to the podium and have some comments?
Anybody online?
Anybody online, Will?
I'm checking right now.
Do we make a motion for each?
First, you have to see there.
Yeah. Just curious.
Nobody online.
Make a motion for the seeker, please.
Oh, yes. Mr. Chairperson, in regard to PLZBA 2025 2022-0058 as supported by the staff reports. I ask that the board find this proposal to be an unlisted seeker action with sufficient information available for a negative declaration.
Second.
Take a roll call.
Aye.
I abstain.
The,
I approve.
I approve. I approve.
I approve.
Steve passes.
Secret
The
passes.
secret passes.
So we got 4 and 1
You have to do,
abstention.
I like to see you do them independently.
Okay.
Not variances
Yeah.
here.
Okay.
Okay.
So that was the question I was going to ask. Do you need them separate?
The variances separate.
Oh, okay. Then I'd like some clarification on the 5 types. I have written down, number 1, the maximum floor, number 2, the front setback, number 3, the accessory parking setback. 4, I'm a little unclear. I think that was another setback.
Number 3 was the side setback. Do you have the agenda?
I have it.
All 5 are listed out.
Where is,
They're on
Copy
page-
staff.
I got it.
Yeah, they're all right there, Evie.
Okay. Oh, I see it. Okay. So, all right. I move that the board approve the area variance, the first area variance, to increase the existing building area of 18,528 square feet by constructing an additional 10,000 square feet structure. The first point, the variance will not create an undesirable change in the character of the neighborhood or be a detriment to nearby properties if it is granted. And I'll probably be repeating several of these reasons, but the general description of the removal of the loading area, parking, not affecting sidewalk, safety, noise, for that satisfies the first. The second, the benefit sought by the applicant may not be achieved by some feasible method other than the proposed variance. As the applicant indicated, it is a very large area, and I think the applicant did a very thorough job in trying to, frankly, minimize the amount of changes that are needed.
I'll second that. All we need, all we need is that.
Do we vote on each one, or?
Yes.
One.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I vote to approve.
I abstain.
I vote to approve.
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 Okay, the second area variance, to permit a front setback of 136.5 feet where a maximum of 20 feet is permitted. Relief is sought for 116.5 feet. The first component, the variance will not create an undesirable change in the character of the neighborhood or be a detriment to nearby properties if it is granted. As I previously indicated, there is the removal of the loading area. There is parking that has been arranged for, and not affecting the sidewalk, safety, noise. Various components have been considered and addressed. Number 2 for approval, the benefit sought by the applicant may not be achieved by some feasible method other than the proposed variance, again, because of the size and unique makeup of that location.
I'll second that.
I vote to approve.
I abstain.
Approve.
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 The third area variance that I move to approve will allow setbacks of 70.1 feet on the southern side and 95.5 feet on the northern side for the proposed addition, where a maximum side setback of 15 feet is permitted, requiring relief of 55.1 feet and 80.5 feet respectively. First component or item, the variance will not create an undesirable change in the character of the neighborhood or be a detriment to nearby properties if it is granted. Again, there is the removal of a loading area. There is parking that's addressed. There is not affecting the sidewalk area, safety, noise, and other issues have been taken care of. The second point, the benefit sought by the applicant may not be achieved by some feasible method other than the proposed variance, and that again is due to the size of the location and its unique makeup.
Second.
Eby,
Vote to approve.
Abstain.
Vote to approve.
vote to approve.
Approve.
The fourth area variance I move to approve is the variance to allow parking front setback of 13.5 feet, where a minimum front setback of 30 feet is required, relief of 16.5 feet requested. First component for an area variance. The variance will not create an undesirable change in the character of the neighborhood or be a detriment to nearby properties if it is granted. In particular, this parking arrangement will not create an undesirable change. In fact, it will create a desirable change. And for the second component, the benefit sought by the applicant may not be achieved by some feasible method other than the proposed variance, again, due to the unique size and makeup of this location.
Second.
Eby,
Vote to approve.
Abstain.
Yes, approve.
And the fifth,
Wait a minute.
oh, sorry.
Approve.
We're we're ready.
there we go.
My apologies. Get caught up in these many variances. Okay, the fifth and final area variance I move that the board approve is the variance from the minimum ground floor residential use requirement of 50%, no transparencies provided on the ground floor, relief of 50% is requested. For the first item that would need to be addressed, the variance will not create an undesirable change in the character of the neighborhood or be a detriment to nearby properties if it is granted. Again, the effect of the transparency will help and be a good situation for the area, and will not create any undesirable change. And just, I think most of the operations anyways are kind of within the business area. So the second component, the benefit sought by the applicant may not be achieved by some feasible method other than the proposed variance, again, due to the unique size and nature of this location.
Second.
Eby,
I vote to approve.
Abstain.
Approve.
vote to approve.
Approve.
You're all set.
Thank you, Chair. Members, thank you. Good evening.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Thank you. Okay, our second order of business tonight is BLZBA 2025-0060-3004 6th Ave. And you'd like to take,
Yes.
state your name.
Daniel Hirschberg from the firm of Hirschberg in Albany, New York. I'm here today representing Wally Alvara. With me also is Dan Sanders, the building architect, who can answer any questions about the building. I think the best way to start is to ask Wally to address
You pull that mic in front of you.
the hardships that he's identified.
Good evening, everyone.
Wally, if it's easier, you can take the mic right at the stand. If it's
Yeah.
easier, you can just hold it.
Okay. I'm gonna feel like I'm singing a song. All right. Good evening, chairpersons and members of the board. My name is Waldo Ivorra. I am the owner of 3004 6th Avenue. I'm respectfully requesting approval to complete the 7-unit residential conversion at the property. Before purchasing this property,
Yeah, you know what? Put it in your hand like you are singing on stage. Yeah, that'd be better.
before purchasing this property, it was in near condemned condition. After reviewing with my lender, I was advised that this rehabilitation as a 3-family wouldn't work. So I went to the building department and asked, what can I do with this particular building? And they told me that this building could be converted into a 7-family dwelling. I was advised that was not financially able with a total investment near $500,000. The permitting use would not support financial or reasonable return as a 3-family, the current use. I worked directly with the city, with my architect, and licensed plumbers and licensed electricians. Sealed plans for a 7-unit and all required approvals would issue relying on those approvals. We submitted all the permits, the application, all insurance that we required by myself as the owner and by the licensed electricians that are here today, by the licensed plumber also that are here on my behalf today, and by the licensed sprinkler company that are here on my behalf today as well. This is all a lot of these people work for me. And a lot of them are my tenants and support to show that I'm a good landlord. I've done everything correctly. I submitted a permit. My architect, Danny's also here. We submitted everything that was asked. I own several properties in the city of Troy. I love Troy. I have properties that are right now, and I'm using them as land bank right now until I complete all my other projects. You can look it up. I brought everything, evidence. You know, I've been doing this for a long time. I'm also a civil service worker, retired from the Board of Ed as a cleaner, clean toilets for a living. And now I'm doing real estate, and I love it. I'm very passionate about it. This is amazing to me for just all the support. Thanks. And yeah, I did everything right, guys. I bought pictures to show I'm about 50% done with this project. And there's a lot of money invested. I invested over $300,000 into it. I brought pictures to show the work that's been done. Everyone here that could vouch for me. And I just want to move forward with this project and complete it. Yeah, I have several properties in Troy. I have about 50 in Albany. I have over 25 in Schenectady. I've never had an issue with any city agency, never in my life. And now they're as my family. My grandmother made sure of that. And so I'm just here asking what was already given to me, the approval, which I believe the permits here that was issued. If you could pull that up for me, please.
I don't have the queued up right now. I have the package of stuff that you submitted with your application, but I can.
There's also,
While you
yeah,
present.
and there's also, we did a traffic analysis that shows there's no impact to, converting this from a current 3 to 4 family dwelling to a 7. There's no impact in parking whatsoever. I currently own 4 other properties on the same block, 3072, 3028, 3006, the adjacent property right next door to it. On that block alone, I own 4 other properties. This is what I do for a livelihood. As a kid, I wanted to do this, and that's it. I'm here in front of you because I did the right thing, and I've been doing the right thing my whole life. It's unfortunate. It's tough. But everyone behind me shows that when you do the right thing, you get right results. I know my grandmother's proud of me. I know my mother's proud of me. And they always told me to stand up for what's right. And that's all I did. I did everything right. I've done nothing wrong here. I apologize for the way I feel, but I'm big. I'm big on doing the right thing. Will could tell you every time I see him, I greet everybody in this building. I know Will. I know Bill. I know Carlo. I know Aldo. Everywhere I go, every building agency, they know me well. They know me by my first name. Boy, am I lying or not?
I would say that you are well known around City Hall and the building department and elsewhere.
Thank you. Thank you. I hold my head up high because my family could hold up their head high. I mean, if this doesn't show that, then I don't know what does. This isn't right. But you know what? I'm going to keep fighting. I submitted my permits. I submitted my insurance. I submitted all my plannings. Again, I thank everyone for being here. The sprinkler guy, Matthew Sprinkler, Carl, we installed a 2-inch water line for the sprinklers, which was required. Any 3-family above, you have to do that. We did that. We digged up the street. I paid all my taxes. All my taxes for all my properties are current. I'm not behind on one property. Sometimes I don't know how I do it. Naomi, thank you. She's my assistant in the office, and she helps me a lot. I went around today. You have to bear with me. This is my first time doing this. I'm trying to do my best. I have a petition from 20 people. I did this today. I just thought of this. From everyone on that block approving it. I have videos also recording of the people saying that they don't oppose. Well, I know I wasn't able to email you this, but you can pass it around. This is everyone's name and address. I have videos to prove all those signatures are valid. Again, thank you for hearing me out, everyone here. And forgive my emotional, but this is what I'm passionate about. Not only just real estate, I wanted to do this as a kid, and I'm doing it. And this is what dreams are made of. And God bless America, and God bless you. Thank you. Danny, would you like to add anything?
I don't know whether or not the folks received this list of hardships that was printed by Wally. I don't know whether or not they got copies of it, but this lays out the financial hardships that this brings, because there are not only construction loans, there's bridge loans, there's all the loans that are all based upon 7 units. If the 7 units can't get built, the project will fail.
That document was not received till this afternoon. It was disseminated to the board members by email, but it was not part of the packet that was submitted and reviewed by staff.
I did that. I have, well, pictures, of the current condition of the property. I can pass it around.
Yeah, pass them around, pass them around.
Also, the permit's also there.
I got no emails. but- You just said yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Good evening, Danny Sanders, Harris Sanders Architects. And we've been working on this project and about 5 other projects with Wally throughout the capital region. And he takes a building that nobody would take, honestly, and make something happen with it. And I think for a city like Troy that unfortunately has a lot of buildings, a lot of X buildings in Albany as well, that's really important for anybody taking on a project. The quality of his contractors is excellent. And overall, we've been very impressed with starting a project and getting it done. Some people, unfortunately, aren't able to do that. And while he's been doing that, they're challenges. These buildings are falling apart. You walk in there and you can't even walk through the building safely. And his framers are amazing in terms of getting a project safe and keeping intact the history of Troy, history of Albany. We've done one in Schenectady as well. And we feel as architects in the region for over 60 years, those are really rewarding projects, and we look forward to doing many more. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else out in the public that would like to speak?
Were there any emails submitted?
Where's this?
Yes.
No,
No, someone in the back. I think they're coming up. So we need to talk to all the first, right? Yeah. You know what?
Oh, hold on.
Ma'am,
Hold on one second, ma'am.
Before you speak,
Can we ask?
we, the board, need to continue speaking to Waldo. We will invite you back up.
Okay, we didn't know if you're looking for the fors or against though. That's what we're at.
Okay, yeah.
Either one, but we're gonna finish with our board. Waldo, would you please come back up? Sorry, we skipped a beat there.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
I think the board has some questions for you. Steve?
Okay. There's been a lot of history that you presented tonight,
Thanks,
and
sir.
I'm a little confused. So I've got questions, and if you want to answer them, that'd be great. If you want your attorney to answer them, that's fine. According to tonight's agenda, we're dealing with a variance request to convert what was a previous 3-unit building into a 7-unit residential structure. And that requires a use variance, right?
Sir, your name is
Oh, my name is Steve Miner.
Steve Minor, sir. As I stated, I submitted all my documents to the building department. On behalf of my architect, which spoke, Danny Sanders, I also submitted sprinkler diagrams to the Department of Building. I also submitted my plumber's information, which is here as well. I also submitted my electrician information, which is here as well. My insurance. I submitted all documents that were asked of me, sir. Once I did so, I have the email trail that the building departments approved that building from a 3-family to a 7-family. The permit will show that. Everything, again, as I stated, everything I've done step by step has been, whatever's asking me is what I did. I've done nothing wrong here.
I'm not saying you did.
Okay,
That's not my question.
okay, so
Maybe I can ask the Corporation Counsel the same question. According to tonight's agenda, we're dealing with a variance request to convert a previous 3-unit building into a 7-unit residential structure, which requires a use variance.
That's correct.
Okay. I'm not saying
Dan, you
you
wanna-
didn't submit whatever you say you submitted, sir. I'm just,
no, I know. Again, I'm just trying to understand.
now,
Ladies and gentlemen, this is my first time doing this, you know?
I understand. I got a lot of questions.
I just want to build buildings. That's it, and make homes for people. I have homes for everyone here. You know, they're all here. These are individuals that work for me. These are individuals that reside with me. Lamont, how long have you been with me? I'm sure. How long have you been with me? Please stand.
Let's bring this back here.
I understand.
The board has questions if you.
Yeah,
if you-
the answer is that it's been determined that a use variance.
Just try to confine yourself to answering the questions that are asked, okay?
Well, the first question's been answered. We're here for a use variance.
That's correct.
Thank you. Moving along. In addition to the use variance that we've just established, when I read the documents and the request for the variance, the average minimum gross floor area permitted per dwelling is 700 square feet.
Correct.
So that would suggest, while 584 square feet is proposed, we're 116 square feet short.
Correct.
Thank you. Now, in December of 25, there were some members from the public who appeared during the public access portion of the zoning board meeting. And there were concerns, there were questions, there was some opposition to this project. In addition to those comments in December, it's my understanding that emails were received today in addition to the December comments, and have they been read into the record?
Well,
I'm sorry? Yes.
They've been read into the record.
Can you repeat that, Steve? I'm sorry.
I'd be happy to repeat it.
Yes.
Back in December of 25, we had a zoning board meeting.
Mhm.
There were members of the public who appeared
Mhm.
and voiced their concerns or their opposition or their problems with approving this project.
Yes, those are in the public record.
In addition to those public access comments, it's my understanding that there were additional emails received today communicating other concerns from other parties. Have those emails been read into the record?
They are in the public record. I can't speak to whether or not there's overlap between who the senders of those comments were that we received today and who spoke at the
Should
previous
those
meeting.
emails that were received today, should they be read individually into the record, or is it sufficient to assume they are part of the record?
so we don't usually require that they be read into the record individually. The board has access to those emails. And I don't know when they were received precisely, but we normally presume that you have reviewed the record prior to
They were,
here.
No, I'm just,
they were received before 12 o'clock today, which is the cutoff. All public comments that are submitted in writing appear as part of the meeting minutes.
okay.
So yes.
Now, let's talk about some background information. Mr. Avora, you're an experienced contractor, right?
Yes.
So buying buildings, selling buildings, rehabbing buildings, renovating buildings, that's something you've been doing a while.
Been doing now for over 8 years.
I can't hear you, sir.
Over 8 years, sir.
All right, thank you. Now, this question is to the Corporation Counsel for the city. Mr. Morrissey, did the city of Troy amend or change its zoning laws in the 2023 year? Was there an update or a revision?
In April of 2023, the city repealed its prior zoning ordinance and passed a new zoning ordinance.
So April of 23, new zoning ordinance goes into effect, right?
That's correct.
All right. What is the current zoning as per units in a building for the address of record 30046 6th Avenue? Is it zoned for either a 2 or 3, or is it zoned for a 7-unit building?
I believe it's zoned for, I believe that is a 2-family zone.
So it got rezoned.
In 23,
No.
it was rezoned.
Yeah, I'm not sure it was rezoned. I don't know the prior status.
All right,
But it was
but from
certainly-
23 on, it's certainly been
It's been a 2-family.
2-family. Okay,
And I don't know that whether this property was grandfathered in any respect.
that's fine. I'm just trying to make sure I get everything I need. Somebody mentioned a fire. Did you own the building when there was a fire, sir?
No, sir.
So the fire occurred in the building prior to the time you bought the building?
Yes, sir.
Did you buy the building from the individual or the party that owned it after the fire?
That I don't know, sir.
Okay, fair enough. When did you buy the building? What year?
It was very late 23. No, early 24. Sorry, early 24.
All right, so there's a fire. You don't own the building when there's the fire. You buy the building after the fire, and you buy the building early in 2024.
Correct.
Okay. When you bought the building, did you get a mortgage for the purchase of the building, or did you pursue title insurance?
I did what's called a bridge loan.
Would you
It's
explain what that means? to
sure.
me?
I'll be more than happy to, sir. So a bridge loan, what it is you go to a private lender, and you present the property you want to buy, and you tell them what you have plans to do with it. The current property is, say, in need of rehabilitation. So they provide a bridge from you to get it from one point to a turnkey project. As you know, this property was condemned in really, really bad shape, as my architect pointed out. That's pretty much what I do. I buy buildings that people would just walk by them and be like, well, what is this? And I turn them into something what I call beautiful. And that's what I love to do. And
So you didn't go to a regular lending institution like a commercial bank and get a mortgage or buy title insurance?
oh yeah, this is a private lender. It's a financial institution. They do a background check. They do a credit report. They do everything. I've been doing this for a while. And this,
To post collateral?
yeah, my experience. I'm also a real estate broker too.
Do you have to pledge other properties as collateral on this
No,
bridge loan?
no, no.
Okay, I'm just trying to understand and thread
That's
the
fine.
needle, that's all.
Sure.
If title insurance was not used through this bridge loan, did you think of buying it independent of the bridge loan?
Well, I don't buy any building independently. I use the bridge loan because I leverage my assets. So the business I am, you have to, use leverage for everything.
No, I understand that, but did you purchase title insurance?
Absolutely.
Okay. And this whole issue of zoning or 2-3 family versus 7 units never came up in the title insurance?
No, sir.
Okay. Now, you submitted blueprints or design plans to the city of Troy,
Correct.
and you gave them to code or building.
Yes, sir. I physically dropped them off and email as well. This is how they requested.
Okay. When did you actually start work on the building?
I'm going to have to say, as soon as they issue the permit, I went ahead and started gutting the building. As far as they gave me 2 permits. So they gave me a permit basically to convert a current existing of a 3-family to a 7-family. And also they gave me a permit for, I believe it's called when you block the road for a dumpster.
All right.
Right. So they provided that as well. So my team and we gutted the building. As you mentioned, the building was burned. So we had to basically demolish all the wood that's there, all the joists. They were no longer good. We had to remove all those, stabilize the building, which we did. And we put all new joists, a new roof. We supported the foundation. We underpinned it. Again, we brought in a 2-inch water line for the sprinklers. So all that was done, sir.
One of the things that came up at the public access in December was, I'll use the term squatters or vagrants, and Troy Police being called for issues. Did you own the building at that time, or was that prior to you buying the building?
Since I own the building, no. Thank God there's been no squatters.
Okay. We had this on the agenda for December 3rd. You weren't here, and I was curious as to why.
My apologies. I had a family emergency. I'm originally from the city. I've been now here 4 years. Happy 4 years. I love it here. But I had a family emergency to attend to. And
Okay.
and again, I apologize
No, you don't
to
need to
the
apologize.
board
If it's
members.
a family emergency. You had a family emergency. Did code ever issue a stop order?
No, sir, not at all. No. Right now, my permit is active. As my permit for the construction is active, my permit for the plumbing is active, my permit for sprinkler is active, my
Okay.
permit for electric is active, my permit for all construction for 3004 6th Avenue, Troy, New York, 12180 is fully active and approved by the city of Troy.
One of the issues that came up in emails that were communicated today, and the same concerns were voiced at the December meeting, has to do with parking and traffic. If you have 7 units, have you provided plans for off-street parking?
Yes, sir. I submitted a traffic analysis which shows no impact. I believe you have that.
That was not my question.
The TDMP was submitted, I think, the day before yesterday after hours, so it has not been formally reviewed with respect to this, nor would it necessarily be brought forward in this. I'm not sure about that, Rick, because of the nature of the variance, whether.
Actually, more of a planning
Right.
consideration.
Okay, that's fine. I'm just going back to touch on issues that had been raised that.
That's
I had
fine. I'm
questions
here.
about.
I'm more than happy to answer any questions. If I can I'll be more than happy to pass it along to Dan or
One of
or
the
Danny.
concerns that came up in December, and I don't really understand this, so maybe you can explain it. One or two of the people brought up an issue of use or access to a gangway between the building in question and another building. I don't understand this. Any comments what that means?
I'm not sure exactly what you're asking, sir.
I'm not sure what I'm asking. There was
Is anyone here sure?
expressed over use or access to a gangway or an alleyway or a walkway between the building in question and another building.
As, sir, I own the building next door to it, the adjacent building as well.
This is a duplex, so this will be between the next property up.
It would be the next property up,
Yes.
not immediately next door.
Yes, this is one half of a duplex. Yeah, 3004 and 3006, correct?
Right, yes, those are both mine, sir.
So where is this gangway located?
To the north of 3006.
Is it on Sixth Avenue or is it on, what is it, Middleburg?
I'm going from memory here, but I believe it would be on 6th Avenue.
All right. I still don't get that. Let's talk about garbage cans, collection of garbage, storage of cans, 7 units. Where would they be kept or maintained?
Those would be kept in the basement, which all tenants would have access to. There's going to be a good amount of garbage cans there in the basement for all the tenants. And all my units that are above 5 family, I keep one of my maintenance guys, which I brought today. So I house one of my team members to live there rent-free to maintenance all my buildings. And he's also here today to confirm that. So all the units, to answer your question, sir, all the garbage cans will be in the basements and a private storage locked up, vented outside so that way there's no smell. And on garbage day, on trash day, the individual that works for me that lives there will take out the garbage. That's his responsibility. That's what he's paid for. And that's why he gets the free housing. Lucky him, right?
Okay. Last question, and then
Sure.
I'll be quiet.
I'm comfortable now.
Be comfortable.
Yes, yes, yes. I'm very comfortable.
Understand this. Do you think, and I have not had time to really get into this, would a 3 or a 4 unit work for you in terms of cash flow or return or fiscal analysis as opposed to the proposed 7 unit?
Good question. That's actually why we're here. That's a good question. So a 3-family would not work. That's why when I came to the building department and I asked, what could this, before I even got into contract, I asked the building department, what can this building be converted to? Because again, I've been doing this for quite some time, and they told me that yes, it's a current 3 to 4 family, and it could be converted. So I did my research. I spoke with my lender, and my lender said yes, as a 7 family, if you get the approval, it works. A 3 family would not work because I already invested $300,000 without the purchase. I bought the pictures to show. As you pointed out, this building was burned down. It was, I mean, in horrible shape.
Oh, I believe that.
Horrible shape. I had to do everything new. All new studs, new roof, new capping, new water systems, new sewer, and I brought all the documentation to support that as well.
So this 300,000 you're alluding to does not include the purchase price?
No, sir, not at all. No. I have to, in order for, when you make a contract with a licensed electrician, they require 50% upfront. When you make a contract with a licensed plumber, they require 50% upfront. When you make a contract with any individual that's here, a framer, which also, thank you for being here too. You have to give them 50% upfront, and that is not refundable. You know, because it's not, you know, it's at this point it's my hardship. It's unfortunate. I'm not pointing any fingers. You know, it's unfortunate what happened. I was given a permit. I presented everything asked of me, and as soon as they gave me the permit, I remember like yesterday. I said, guys, I got the permit. Seth, I text you the permit. I was happy. Carl, I did the same to you. Mark, the same. Danny, which is also here, my kitchen guy. I was ecstatic. I said, we're doing something great for Troy. You know, and as I own also a property on 731 River, which Danny and I are submitting 12 units for that one. I'm in negotiations with another property, a huge lot, which is down the block from my property. So I could oppose where if parking is an issue, I'll do whatever I have to do in front of this board. I could swear that I will accommodate parking. If the 3 additional units are that much concerned with parking, I will give parking up the block to those 3 tenants. I'll do whatever I have to do. I could write an easement. I could put a clause on the deed. I'll do whatever just to accommodate that. Because I did everything by the book, sir.
I don't have more questions.
I do.
Yeah.
So, so right now you got 300 in, you bought it for about 110. How much more, what are we talking to wrap up your project?
So right now we're talking, I would need about approximately 250,000 to finish the project. Yeah.
And my other question is, how did it come to be that you realized you needed a variance?
I received a phone call from the city of Troy. Again, you can look into this. My permit is still active.
It's fine. I just want to know what the communication chain was to.
When were you notified you needed a variance?
I was notified. I wrote it on my notes. Give me a second, please.
Sure.
I don't know what the communication.
I'm just wondering how it came to be.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Someone noticed it. Maybe staff noticed it.
I'm gonna grab my phone, please.
Okay, that's fine.
Maybe Carlo. Could be that. It could be Carlo or Andrew realized that they had issued the permit without getting the. I was sure that
Maybe it was.
It was sometime late October, and since then.
And who was it? Who was it from?
It was collectively, they conference called me, Billy French, Carlo, the senior director from the Troy, and Andrew, the engineer.
Carlo and Andrew are buildings, and Billy French is one of our chief code enforcement.
What does it say? They didn't
tell me anything. That it was just verbal. They said, Wally, we have some complaints from the neighbors. Saying that this shouldn't be a 7-family. And I was like, but Billy, how? You approved it. Just like you approved my other units. I did the same steps, man. I took all the necessary steps, as Danny Sanders pointed out.
Yeah, we're not.
Right. So this is.
Integrity.
No, thank you. Thank you, man. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm more confused.
So wait a minute. So I want to argue your point a little bit. I'm a real estate agent locally here. You're
Okay.
a broker.
Yes.
If you
I have my license. Would you like to see it?
no. You know, all in, if you're at 500 on a 3-family unit, even though it's really a 2-family unit, you can still make money. There's right now, I checked before I came to this meeting. Did I say that? There's 662 available apartments in Troy right now. That's a lot of apartments. I have a problem with adding more, to be quite honest with you. No offense to you. I don't have a problem with you converting a building that's already there and making it what it was. But in Troy, as a rule of thumb, we have too many apartments. And that honestly is my opposition to not your project, because your project sounds fabulous. I think I applaud you for all the work that you're putting into Troy
Thank you.
and Schenectady and Albany, and that you're buying up these derelict buildings. I cannot applaud you enough.
Thank you.
We need people like you.
Thank you.
But I do have a problem with tiny little units. I have a problem with parking, and I have a problem with just more than what the building was actually created for. That's just me speaking my piece. That's nothing for you to argue. I'm just giving you my angle.
I have a question. You have indicated your extensive experience, your work with or employ several experts. Did you, or as I've seen in the past in situations, do a cost benefit analysis to show that you will or would not make money on 3, 4, 5, or 6 units, anything between, up to 7?
Anything above a 6 families works with the budget that I need to put into this project in order to finish it, to make it a turnkey.
Right, but there's a breakdown of specific costs for each number, and I've seen those analyses before. It's not overly a big lift, and for someone who's been in the business for as long as you have, that's pretty standard. So I've just wondered whether you have done it or would be willing to do it for the board.
Be willing to do exactly what, ma'am? I want to make sure I understand.
Benefit analysis showing your what you would get or lose money specifically by the number of unit options.
Right. Well, yeah, I'd be more than happy to provide that for the board. Each unit, and as stated, you're a realtor. Each unit you're looking at about, at a market value, each unit right now, if you were to purchase it, they would average it a value about $75,000 to $80,000. Would you agree that's right?
I mean, I think $125 per unit,
125,000.
which is cheap. I mean, honestly, I mean, I understand your dilemma because you're trying to, and I understand the loan, with your bridge loan, you're trying, if I was just buying a 3-family and I was renting it out, I might not be getting all of that money back in my mortgage. And I understand that's your situation. You're trying to have it be a wash plus be in the black, versus having to catch up. So I understand your dilemma, but I do think, I mean, I looked at your pictures, you've done a beautiful job.
Thank you.
I don't know what you were planning on charging for these 500 square foot units, but I think by expanding and making it a 3-family, which is what it originally was, even though that would still need a use variance because it's a 2-family now apparently. But anyways, I think that, by increasing the rent, you're gonna increase the quality of your tenant. I think you can make it work.
No, it would, because again, you're not counting the purchase price as well. Purchase price 110, and then the renovation cost, you're looking at 610. Even if we,
610.
right. So now again, this is per se, so let's just say we're being conservative with those numbers. So now also count, I have a mortgage. There's a bridge loan I have to pay. I haven't done any work since I received the phone call. Why? Because out of respect. Carlo, Billy, and Andrew called me. They said, Wally, we're just giving you a verbal. Let's meet. We met at the building. They seen all the work done. They said, okay, well, this is a step that needs to be taken now. Unaware to me, I automatically called my architect and I said, look, this is what was just, they called me and told me. I don't want to continue to do any work because I don't want to ruffle any feathers. I have a good reputation and I want to do what's right and I want to move forward. So with the purchase price of 110, title insurance, closing costs, And just the carrying cost, yeah, something that you're forgetting. Carrying costs every month I'm paying right now. If you do $300,000, sir, everyone on the board, you know, I'm very private with those numbers, but that's $3,200 a month I'm paying right now for a vacant building. You know, that building was supposed to be turnkey already done. Because of this hardship that I've been given and I've been doing respectfully, we haven't been in there. We've been in there once to clean everything out, to make sure, to winterize the building, you know, from squatters, from anyone breaking in, you know, to protect the work that we already done. So if you add $30-something $100 a month in a year, that's roughly, you know, $40,000. So you could add that as well. So you're talking way over $750,000. And even to you're at $100,000, then it's what, break even. We're in business to
Make money.
as we all are. You know, everyone here on this board, you know, they're here on my behalf. They're not making anything because this is support, because I do the right thing by people. And everyone here, thank you. They all do the right thing by me. And I want to say that, you know, it's the truth. You know, I mean, this shows it. You know, I've never raised the rent on anyone, on any of these people here. And they could vouch for me. And sometimes my property tax go up, and you know that, you point that you're a realtor. My property tax has gone up for every property, and not hundreds, thousands. And I still don't raise the rent. Why? Because they're good, hard-working people. And that's what it's about. If it's not about that, and then what are we as a society? I've done the right thing. I've done nothing wrong here. I was given a permit, and I did that, and I moved forward with the permit, what was given to me. If they would have told me, Wally, you can only get a 3-family, I would have done a 3-family. That's fine. You know, but it didn't make sense as a 3-family. If they would have told me, Wally, you could do a 4, maybe I would have bought the 4, but no, it still didn't make sense. The purchase is $110. I would have walked away from the deal. I walk away from many deals.
Well, we've had other situations where renovations occur and they try to make multiple units. And we have asked for and received the cost-benefit analysis for the different options. And at times, since, you know, construction, like in your case, is early enough, applicants have been open to the prospect of something other than the max. And I think it would help everyone here if we saw, because you're giving very big lump sums, and they're very, you know, it's very informative. But when you break it down per unit, it's much more helpful.
I understand.
And also for all involved, whether even a modest alternative might be considered.
And what do you,
Well, we'd look at the numbers, you know, it's 6 instead of 7.
okay.
That's all I'm getting at. But again, we haven't seen the cost-benefit analysis for per units. And that, again, breaks it down for us to see it conceptually.
I understand. Okay. Thank you.
I'm gonna ask maybe a dumb question.
Your microphone is not on.
Yeah, it is. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
So I'm usually the one that asks the simple questions here. But when you purchased this building in, when was it?
24.
24.
Yeah.
You knew it was a zone 2-family at that time. I mean, the variance, not there was a variance, but there was, you knew, you looked at it and said it was 2-family, right?
No. It was technically 4-family.
What do you mean by technically it was a 4-family?
You have 4 units with the basement. 4.
It may have been an illegal unit in there.
All right, so you had an illegal unit in there that before the fire. But so you didn't realize when you purchased in 2024 that you were purchasing in a 2-family zone, and no one, your architect, your attorney, like never said.
Civil engineer.
Oh, okay. So your attorney, the civil engineer, the architect didn't say, hold up here, something, this is a red flag. Just, I mean, if I had an architect who was looking at drawings for going from Like that would have been the first thing I would have looked at. No one gave you that like warning on your side.
No.
I mean, that is something the attorney, your real estate attorney would double check.
Yeah,
Typically.
in your attorney, your real estate attorney never
No.
flagged this. Okay, I just.
No, neither did the building departments when I submitted the permit.
I'll agree with that. You made that very clear. Just
But your attorney and your engineer and others work for you and are obligated to
protect you.
exactly and inform you of everything you need to know to make a business decision.
Right. And
did anyone from the bank or not the bank, the private lender, did they notify you of this saying like, hey, like to me, if I was loaning you 300,000 or 600,000, whatever the number is, was loaning you $1, build this, I'd say to you like, hey, this is, you're trying to build 7 here, that what makes this project viable. You don't have all the ducks in the row just yet. Maybe I shouldn't give you that $1. They never said anything to you either?
Well, as I pointed out, before purchasing the building, I personally came down to the building department. Will knows I'm here at least twice a month. I have other properties. I asked, what can I do with this building? Because it doesn't work as a 3-family or 4. And they said, okay, based on this, you could do this. I went with my architect, which is also here. He spoke. He said, yes, we're submitted as a 7-family. We submitted it and it was approved.
So based on what? When you said you that's fine. I'm just trying to get into the weeds a little bit here. So you came down, building or code or whoever. I can't make it. You haven't bought it yet, right?
Correct.
I can't make this work. What can I do? And then you said based on something, they said, why don't you do this? So
Not something based on where the building sits. What can I do with it? Because there's been other projects where I converted as well, which are completed. So
On all those other projects, and I know that's not relevant here, but you've never needed
no, sir.
you never needed a zoning
No, sir.
board of appeals
No.
approval, variance, or anything on any other property in Troy, Albany, or Schenectady.
And no, sir. All my projects. I guess I bought right. No.
to that, Zach, that I am surprised your real estate attorney didn't catch. I mean, I just sold vacant land and we went through 2 months of zoning to make sure that she could do something.
But I guess we could argue the same thing about the city, ma'am.
Well, yeah, you're right.
You
You're
know,
right. I'm not trying
I
to
just
say you're
did,
attorney.
no, I just did everything that was asked of me.
Yeah,
I
I really.
They asked me for insurance, I provided insurance.
I
They
really.
asked me for workers' comp, I provided that. They asked me for my permits. They asked me for the licenses for every individual here in this room. I submitted that.
Yep.
I did, again, we did everything, and I paid the permits, which was a hefty fee. Happily paid it. And my taxes are current. You could look that up as well for all my properties.
I believe you.
I have a question.
Sure.
I'm not in any way questioning what you're saying or your integrity. I want to make that.
Thank you,
very
sir.
clear. I had a long career. I'm not a lawyer, but I was an investment rep, an investment broker, a financial planner, etc. One of the things that we always impressed upon clients was it's ultimately the client responsibility to perform what we call due diligence. When you buy a stock, when you buy a bond, when you buy a mutual fund, when you buy a piece of land, when you buy a building, understand and have your attorney look at it, counsel you, make sure you understand exactly what you're getting into. That's where I was going with title insurance. It was never purchased.
No, it was. I answered you and I told you it was, sir.
Oh, it was purchased?
Yes, we did a loan. With any loan, you mentioned you're in the finance industry. With any loan, you have to do title insurance.
Okay.
100%. The
Okay,
bank
so
wouldn't,
you did
the bank
title
wouldn't,
insurance.
the bank wouldn't give you a loan.
But whoever the lender was never brought up the question of zoning or 2-unit or 3-unit.
As I stated before, sir, the deal wouldn't work as a 3-family. When I came here to in question, they told me that I could be converted, and that's why we submitted all the documents. And I submitted these documents also to my lender. That's why the deal worked.
Okay, but let's go back to what Ms. Dondi's pointed it out before. It was the last question I asked you in a whole series of questions. Is it possible? Have you thought about whether or not a 3 or 4-unit would work for you financially, cash flow, return on capital, return on investment, return on equity, as opposed to, I got to have 7 units?
Or 5 or 6.
Can't do it.
But sir, you're asking me right now to go inside the building and basically rip everything that I've done already. That's technically what I would have to send my crew in to remove all the framing done, all the structure done. It doesn't work.
Okay, I didn't think of that. I'm just asking.
No, it's fine. That's what we're all here for. I don't know.
Still, it would be useful to know if that rip out, as you say, would be necessary for, as I said, for the breakdown, cost benefit analysis. Rip out is required for a 3, a 4, a 5, but not a 6 or a 7. I mean, where does that extra cost in a cost benefit analysis fit? If we had to change, this would be the cost. That would be incredibly helpful to us.
We
Okay.
can see the numbers, actually look at them, and you say, like, listen, this is what 3 would be, this is what 1 would be, this is what 10 would be.
Extra cost if we change.
Not 10.
Okay.
Danny, will you call guys? Will you?
Wait a minute.
Well,
Wait, one
we
second.
should wait till we're done with,
Have you guys?
you'll have an opportunity to speak.
As was mentioned in terms of the cost analysis, and we've done variances, Dan has done variances and for projects, and one thing that comes up, as you say, is cost benefit analysis. Well, now if you're going to reduce the framing from 7 units back to 6, for some reason, I'm not sure, because 6 is still beyond 4. So I don't know what the end goal is for our client, but to do that, that's wasting money. I mean, that just doesn't make any, no offense, but it just doesn't make any sense in the equation to do that, because you're tearing out work that's been approved and the work is already in place. So between the plumbing, the electrical, and the framing that's been installed in the $300,000 budget, which is whatever, $50,000 already per unit has been put into the building. Now you're taking out a unit. And one of the other things is, just as an equation for the whole project, is that to bring 7 units back to 6 units, you may still have the same amount of bedrooms. So depending on how the layout would be, you could still have the same amount of bedrooms. So I'm not sure what is being saved in the review process by cutting it back from 7 to 6.
Well, in a
Or
cost,
5.
go ahead.
Or 5. Well, 5, then you're ripping out more units.
Yeah, but
All
is
right,
it a matter of
so
ripping
I'm-
out a unit
so-
or just taking out an
It's
adjoining wall?
it's extensive. It's extensive, because when we were doing the design, every partition is critical to make a bedroom sized or kitchen sized or bathroom sized properly. So when you start moving partitions around and taking out walls, there's other ramifications that you're going to be affecting. And it's not a cookie cutter project. It's not like there's duplication amongst the floors even, because of the way the building is configured.
And I actually, I respect what you're saying in terms of the costs involved in some of these changes. But again, a cost benefit analysis would help us conceptualize, are we talking $1,000? Are we talking $50,000 per unit? And what is involved in that change?
I can't exactly speak to the dollars, but I'm just saying in terms of at this point where we are today, it's more difficult to do a cost benefit analysis
We could
because
do
of
a
the
rough
money that's
estimate.
been,
No, it's not that much more difficult.
well, I respectfully disagree because it's pretty involved. Because you're wasting money, you're wasting lumber, you're putting, framing work that's already been done and wiring that's already been done you're putting it aside. You're just like throwing it away. And then you're doing it just to come up with an analysis that's about wasting money, unfortunately, at this point.
But it can be done in an estimated way. It doesn't have to be to the cents. I don't think it's the first time that, we've had presentations before. Those kind of analyses are done all the time.
No, that's what I'm saying. We've done them. I've been involved in those for
Right.
variance hearings, but not while the building is under construction. It's a very different formula that you'd be using because you're not analyzing how many apartments there are. You're analyzing what you have to do to bring it back to another number once you're already framed.
But it is possible.
It's possible. I'm not going to say it's just not sure what the goal is for it.
So in order to qualify for the use variance, one of the elements is your client must show this board that he cannot recover a reasonable rate of return unless the variance is granted. So it behooves him to come forward with a cost benefit analysis that shows what kind of rates of return he can recover at, say, 5, 6, or 7 units or something like that.
So, as I mentioned, this property was purchased in 2024. The bridge loan is for a 12-month period. So I already extended the loan. Based on my relationship with the bank, they have extended this loan. The rates go from 10% to 15%.
To what?
To 15%, sir.
Oh, I thought you said 50.
No, 15%. So a bridge loan would someone with good credit and a clean background, meaning no criminal record, you get a 10%, given today's market. You get 12 months to complete the project. Given this project, I was, very confident that I would be able to do so. But now, given all these hardship, and here we are, I had to extend the loan with penalties, with extension fees. When you ask the bank to extend the loan, they charge you an additional 2%. So 2% on the original loan. So the purchase price is $110,000. Actually, it was like 120 something, I believe. So now you qualify for 10%. Save, I get 10% down on that. So this just says $15,000. So I'm financing now $90,000 from the bank. The bank lends me a draw of $500,000 with a conservative cushion of $50,000. Now that's there for reserves in the event that you pass your $500,000 mark. We don't know if we're going to pass because we haven't gotten that far, unfortunately. Now, but the extensions have been granted. My rate today is at 15%. And that's why I pointed out why I'm paying $3,500 a month for a vacant building. And that's my fee now based on the draws that I pull. So when you do work, the gutting, they say I propose to the bank that my gutting is going to take me $20,000. The bank sends a member, they take photographs and they submit it. And they indicate, yes, if the gutting is done 100%, they will release whatever I stated for that draw would be. So if I told them the gutting was 20,000 and they verify that the gutting's done 100%, then they wire me $20,000 for me to move forward to the next step. This is where we're at today, so they already approved the $300,000 mark based on where we're at. And now the additional is to carry out the project. But now here we are where no work is happening and I'm still having to pay the mortgage. I have, my other properties that are able to, carry this, but it's tough. It's not easy. There's credit involved here. There's my background involved in this. I can't afford to miss a payment. Then I can't do this no more. Then what do I tell my family? Oh yeah, it's a great career. Get into real estate, become a developer. But then now if I miss one payment, then there goes my credit. There goes my background. Then what do I got to do? I'm a grown man. Now what? I got to go work somewhere else and get another career at my age? Because now I missed the payment on my mortgage. So now I got to start all over when this is what I dreamed of. I've done everything right.
So, Mr. Evora, from my sense, okay, I'm not a voting member of the board. I'm their legal advisor.
Okay.
But I do get the sense they are trying to work with you to the extent that they can.
I appreciate that.
Right?
Thank you.
And you do need a zoning variance in order to go forward with this project. It sounds to me, and let the board speak finally about this, that you might be able to give them some level of comfort by showing them a legitimate cost-benefit analysis that would justify your request for a variance, or at least show them, what you would be making at different levels, 4, 5, 6, whatever number of units. I don't really know. I'm not familiar with the project, but I don't think the board is comfortable, at least I'm not hearing that, with just going forward on sort of a wing and a prayer. And I realize this is a hardship for you. It's costing you money. And this is due to a confluence of several unfortunate circumstances which seem to have come together in this case. I'm sorry about that. But the only way forward that I see, and once again, I'm not speaking for the board, but what I'm hearing from the board is they need a cost-benefit analysis. I don't know. They can speak for themselves.
The lump sum already, your architect has some idea of work that would be required. How long do you think it might take to provide that to us, the cost-benefit analysis?
Well, that's something that I would have to sit down with my team and put together and see when we could get that to but
Professionals do that.
yeah, it's something that I can't get to tomorrow. I would love to say that, but things don't work that way.
Well, we would need it by the next board meeting, and I think that would be sufficient time.
When is the next board meeting?
Next board meeting
It's the first Wednesday of every month.
First Wednesday of every month.
So also, are you aware you've got two variances, you've got area and use. We're focusing on the use at the moment.
February 4th.
That there's 4 conditions that have to be met, not just, we understand your hardship, but I don't think there's any denying the hardship. Are you aware of the other 3?
What are the other 3?
Would you like to just read those?
Yes, I would. Okay, so actually what I'll do is I'll indicate the components or tests for the use variance, and for your own information, the area variance. Okay, so for a motion for a use variance, let me see, first, for a use variance, the applicant must satisfy all 4 tests for approval. Failure to meet even one is grounds for denial. Therefore, a motion to approve requires that all conditions be proven and read into the record as factual findings. So the first test is the property is able or unable to provide a reasonable return unless the variance is approved. 2, the hardship relating to the property is not or is unique when compared to similar properties and does or does not apply to a substantial portion of the neighborhood. 3, the requested variance, if granted, will or will not alter the essential character of the neighborhood. And 4, the alleged hardship is or is not self-created. Again, we must satisfy all 4 tests.
I
For
think the
approval.
last one has, I think the last one is self-explanatory. It's not self-created.
Well, we have the other 3 that
Okay.
we have to.
So do you need anything for that last one, or it's understood by all the members that the last one is clearly not self-created?
Well, we're not going to address that until we have everything.
Okay.
We have to have it all at once.
Okay.
And now for the area variance, for an area variance, the applicant does not have to satisfy all 5 tests, and you can cite only 1 or 2 in support of an approval or denial. So for that, the first test, or one of the tests, is the variance will or will not create an undesirable change in the character of the neighborhood or be a detriment to nearby properties if it is granted. The second test, the benefits sought by the applicant may or may not be achieved by some feasible method other than the proposed variance. 3, the requested variance is or is not substantial. 4, the variance, if granted, will or will not have an adverse effect or impact on the physical or environmental conditions in the neighborhood or district. And 5, the alleged difficulty is or is not self-created. But for the area variance, the applicant, again, does not have to satisfy all 5 tests, and we can cite 1 or 2 in support of approval or denial. Whereas for the use variance, the applicant, again, must supply all 4 tests for an approval. And failure to meet even 1 is grounds for denial. Those are our obligations.
I just wanted to make sure you knew that. Yeah, okay.
And I have another question. I'm sorry. You mentioned you own the property next door adjacent to it, right? How many apartments do you have in there? How many units do you have in that building?
3 with the basement.
3, 3 total or 4 total?
4 total.
That's floors.
4 total, okay. So could I ask you a question?
Me?
Yeah,
Can you ask me a question?
yeah, so if that has 4 units, and it's in the same 2-family zone, so why
3 months.
do you not need to get a variance for
It
that?
may be grandfathered.
Oh, maybe, grandpa, okay.
Okay, I don't know. This one was purchased, I believe, after it had been uninhabited for a year or better or something like that due to the fire.
All right, so there could be a grandfather.
Could be a grandfather or family right next door. There could be other grandfathers throughout the neighborhood. I don't really know.
Okay.
Does the board mind if I ask one question?
No, go right ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay. You mentioned that you had worked on or have been working on the sprinkler system. Is that fully installed?
He's here. What would you say, sir? 90%. 90%, sir.
90%. So, okay. And you installed a 2-inch line to service it?
Everyone's here.
And are the,
Sorry.
so you said 90%, that means like most, but not all the heads are installed yet, or,
You want?
Hey, come on up so we can get it on the record, microphone, please.
All of the heads are in. We're just not tied into the main yet.
okay, that's all I wanted to know. And is that all floors?
Yes.
Just your name too.
My name's Seth from Matthew Sprinkler. I've done multiple buildings on this block too that are the 3075 has 12 units in there, I believe. 3278 has 6 units in it now. He converted from a 3-unit to a 6-unit. There's multiple buildings in the area that have done the same things.
Okay.
Thank you.
I have a comment and a question. May work for you. I'm not trying to give you any advice. I want to make that very clear. You have 2 variances that you need to meet. the area variance, and the use variance, right? I'll pause. I know
No,
what you're
please.
saying. That's okay. What if a little creative planning took one of the variances totally off the table? Let's go back and think about what she's harped on all night long with the fiscal analysis. And your engineer or architect said going from 7 units to 6 units or 6 units to 5 units, what's that going to do other than waste money? If code says a unit has to have, pardon me while I look at this, 700 square feet. Okay. Plug that 700 square foot code requirement into a unit. The real question is, how many square feet do you have to work with within that building? If I could be creative, I might be able to reduce my construction cost, not draw down on all of the capital that's sitting on the table to advance a 7-unit job. Part of that savings could reduce your debt load or continue you to amortize the loan for additional months. Think about 5 units as opposed to 7, moving a wall one way or the other. That's not my job. That's his job. And get back to 700 square feet per unit. And one of your variance issues goes off the board. It doesn't exist. Now you're back to the use variance only, not the area variance. You're spending down less capital in terms of your amortization cost, and you could perhaps not have that credit issue. Now, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just thinking out loud.
Stephen, just to
if you could
clarify,
create a win-win situation.
it's an average of 700, an average of 700. So they don't all have to meet that threshold.
Okay, so my point is this. Let's do this in a very elementary process. And I'm surprised nobody sat down with you and did this. How many square feet do you have to work with within that building? I don't know what the answer is, but it's X square feet, right? Okay. If I'm looking for approximately 700 square feet or more per unit, how many units would that give me without asking for an offset or a reduction in square feet for the area variance? Would that absolutely reduce my overall cash flow and construction cost and allow you to recoup and keep your credit in good faith and maybe have a fiscal analysis done and get yourself a win-win? I'm just thinking out loud, buddy.
Well, thank you for that. I can assure you it doesn't, because we're one thing you're not considering is carrying costs. To carry this loan is costing me every month, as I pointed out, $3,500. Okay, and the money that was already drawn, the money that's left, it may not be suffice because now of all this cost. So if I'm paying $3,500 a month, I had to add that into the cost of the project. And not to mention, when the project is complete or turnkey, the lender collects his fees, the 2 points for every extension. They grant you the first loan at 12 months. The extension, the second one is 4 months. Yes. The third one is 4 months. Now, let's not talk about the fifth one or the sixth one. It seems like that's where we're going,
But do you
this
understand
approach.
where I'm going?
I
with this?
understand, but do you understand my hardship?
I'm
Do you
trying to
understand my position now? All I am is trying to do the right thing. I'm doing everything that was given to me and approved. You know, would you rather see a building empty, abandoned? This is what I do. I take buildings that are in poor conditions and I make them nice, and that's all I'm doing.
I understand.
And it's already approved for a 7 by the city. So I don't understand this. I wasn't told that I had to do this. I wasn't told that. If they would have told me, then I would have done all the necessary steps.
Nobody
As-
sat down with you. and
Sir, the attorneys here that is representing this, if you could look, the permit is still active, sir. There's no stop work order. Will, you represent it. Is there a stop work order on this project?
Best of my knowledge, there's no stop work order.
So right now, Seth, for a 7 unit, Seth, you could go in there, continue to work. Carl, you could go in there, continue to work. Mark, you could go in there, continue to work. Danny, you could go in there, continue to work. Nick, you could go in there, continue to work. We all could continue to work, sir. There's no stop work order.
I didn't say there was.
No, I understand that. But now they called me and verbally told me. So what I did respectfully, because of the good reputation I have and always doing the right thing and being noble, I stopped.
I didn't know about this.
No, and sir, neither did I up until the phone call. I submitted everything asked of me. I mean, look at all these professionals I have here. These are licensed people.
Not, that was my point, is not one of these licensed professionals said, whoa.
But
something
sir,
right here.
but no,
And just.
but neither did the building department.
So when I hire somebody, right, like when I hired my real estate agent, I told her in the beginning of the process, I said, make sure I'm not making an emotional decision. Protect me from doing something I shouldn't do. And because that was her profession, to say, I'm going to stop you from doing something wrong. And that's kind of what, when I hire a professional, I kind of expect that from them to say, to give me the stop. Just, I'm not saying that the city didn't tell you that this can be converted. You can convert anything to anything, right? But I'm just saying, to me, that's.
So
I
what's your
understand
name?
that both of them-
I can't see the tag from here.
What, my
Oh,
name?
yeah.
Zach.
Zach, okay, Zach. But isn't that the city's position as well? Yes or no question?
Yeah, I agree.
Yes or no, just yes or no question.
Two wrongs never made a right.
I'm just asking a question. It's just a yes or no question. You don't want to answer that?
No, I did. I said, yes, I agree with you, but I'm saying two wrongs don't make.
And again, I'm not in any way, shape, or form trying to be disrespectful. Just everyone has to understand my position.
You're not being disrespectful.
We've been standing here for 2.5 hours. I have everyone here. No one's left. Everyone's still here. I thank each and every one of you here that are here on my behalf. Thank you. That's a lot of merit. That shows a lot of character.
I wasn't trying to be disrespectful.
No.
I understand your hardship, and there's a ton of money in play here.
Respectful of your situation. And we just want to indicate our situation of our obligations to, as I read to you.
What it seems like to me, ma'am, is the city approved something that they shouldn't approved, and now they're responsible for it. The city approved a 7-family. I have the permit for it, and I went ahead and did everything right, and now they made a phone call, and now here I am in limbo with expenses, with bills, and now that I have to be responsible for. You know, once.
By providing us with additional information.
Yeah, and I'll be more than happy to do so.
It will help us hopefully have this resolved.
Okay. Understood. Yeah, understood.
Okay, Mr. Rivera, okay.
Yeah.
So someone else will.
Open up to the public, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm the framer. I framed the place.
Okay.
Longtime frame. I'm a framer.
What was your name?
Mark Anthony.
Would you mind picking up the mic and speaking more directly?
Mark Anthony. I frame a lot in Troy. 518 contract and we do a lot of business out here. The cost analysis of framing right off the rip. If I was to charge $5,000 a floor, 4 floors is $20,000. You change the blueprint, hypothetical. If you change the blueprint, it becomes a whole separate cost. I'm charging from the beginning again because I'm not gonna go denail all the wood. I'm not gonna use old lumber. It has to be completely demoed and I have to start all over again. That's doubling his framing cost from the very beginning. The sprinkler guy has to come and take apart all of his stuff in order for me to do that. The cost analysis automatically doubles to the point that he's at right now.
Right, but we need to see it by numbers of units. So all the
understand that.
specialists get together.
But everybody's been here long enough to know that when the building has to be demoed, it costs money, right? Simple scenario, right? So nobody does it for free. So then we gotta double,
Conceptually
we gotta
and
double it,
generally.
we gotta demo it again. Double the cost. We gotta build it again, double the cost. Sprinkler guy has to come, double the cost. Now the electrician has to come, use all new wire. He's not gonna put junction boxes everywhere, double the cost. If this was from the beginning and it wasn't approved, it wouldn't have went this far.
True.
Because I would have took the blueprints and I've been like, all right, 7 unit. If it was 4 unit, I've been like 4 unit. It was approved.
Well, in your analysis, you could put, zero construction. This would be the breakdown. At this point in time, construction is at what, half? Whatever percentage, and then indicate, so we would have that perspective.
It's double the cost and time as of right now. Whatever he spent right now, if he says his loans is at 300,000, let's hypothetically say 60% of that is lost, is going to be recouped.
There's no way of recouping it. And you as a realtor, you know that.
Oh, you as a realtor know that.
I don't think there's any argument of anybody in this room that there's a financial hardship. I think we all agree there's a financial hardship, which, of some sort or another. Well, it's not. You got to meet all 4. That's the problem. That's one.
So
of
I have a
the-
question. I've been here listening. Isn't it you guys' due diligence to sit there and say you don't have everything in order to grant this to you? But nobody said that to him. You guys granted it to him saying, okay, move forward with this.
No, this board.
You're right. Maybe not you.
Not.
Somebody did. If it's the city, whoever it is, the building department sat there and said, oh yeah, you could do this. That's what he did. He could have submitted a 50 unit. And if the building said, yeah, you could do it, he could have did it.
No,
So
we saw it.
the question is here is,
Yeah.
he didn't ask for forgiveness. He asked permission and he was granted permission to do this,
But
not
at-
forgiveness.
At this stage in time, with added information, specific information, it will help us help this situation go forward.
So the city itself did not do their due diligence before granting this. Can we all agree upon that? Matter of fact, who signed the permit that said, yes, do this? Let's look at that. And then we can get him here because that means he didn't do his job.
So that is not the issue before this board.
That's not the
Okay?
issue.
That is not the issue
No, I'm
before
just
this board.
wondering.
The issue before this board is whether your client is going to get a variance or not. Okay? That is the only issue before the board. That's what has to be decided. They've asked for more information. I think Mr.
Avora.
Forgive me, has agreed to provide that information.
To the best of his ability.
Right?
But
The
he also-
the other stuff
but
is
you guys
not,
are not-
the
but you
other,
guys are not
let me
understanding.
finish what I'm saying, sir.
Well, you
The
cut
other
me off.
stuff is neither here nor there, here.
It's not.
Not-
why are you getting
not
mad?
the-
This is
not at
supposed to be a
this
normal
board.
Conversation. All we're asking is, he didn't ask for forgiveness. He has permission and it was granted to him. Understand the cost analysis, but now it's to the point now, like, what does he do until then? So hang on, he doesn't have a stop order, right? But because all good terms, he heard about this and he stopped. He said, hey, let's do this the right way. Let's everybody breathe, all of us breathe, including us. Let's stop to try to get this resolved and not move forward there. So I'm not financially more in debt and the city of Troy is not upset with me. So that's what he did. So now the cost analysis, like you said, if this takes another 2 months, he's $7,000 in loans right from the very beginning.
So no one said anything about another 2 months.
No, I said because now he's got to pay somebody to do his cost analysis. hang on, that's gonna cost him money, which he said he'll do whatever it takes to get done. But what I'm asking is, how do we move forward from here? Because if he keeps working, he's not in the wrong, but it'd be disrespectful. Am I right? Am I right? It would be. But he stopped. I'm just asking a question. He wouldn't be wrong, but it would be disrespectful. But he's not, but he stopped already. I'm just saying he stopped already.
We're the ones who asked the questions, sir, with all due respect.
Okay. He stopped out of respect. He doesn't know how to go further from here because it's costing him money.
Well, I think we're giving him a way to help resolve the situation. A reasonable way.
Please, I'm just,
No, it's fine. I want to say, yes, it was out of respect, but also he stopped because if the variance isn't issued and he continued working, he's that much further building. So if he finished the building
Fair,
tomorrow
fair.
and he paid you whatever you're getting for framing, right?
The
And then,
print
but
like
he said,
everybody else.
listen, I don't care. Work order's good. Keep going. And then they came here today and we said, no.
So
then you have to start over again or the.
You're right,
all
and I'm
lost
not
money,
arguing.
right?
You're
So
right.
when you're yelling at us saying that, well, he's doing it out of respect. I agree that there's.
On both sides, on both sides.
50% of that is respect.
Yes.
And 50% of that is crazy to keep working, knowing that he needed the variance. So I agree with you that it.
But crazy to keep working, you're right. And it was a respect thing. No, I'm agreeing with you. We're both on the same exact page here. We're not arguing that. So that's why the order has stopped.
Yeah.
But in the very beginning, when he got permission to build this, he assumed that the city did their part. Everybody did their part. And if there was something missing, all they had to just say is, Wally, you're missing this. And he would have been like, okay, let me go back and get this. But given the permit to start building, that wasn't an issue until it became an issue somewhere else. That's what I'm saying. So again, he didn't ask for forgiveness. He asked permission and it was granted to him. And this is why we're here today. That's it. So again, everybody got a little heated for it, but he's emotionally distressed because financially it's stressing him out. But right now, how does he benefit from here? Like, how does he do what you guys are asking him from? Still keep carrying the loans, which now the year is coming up. He's going to have to get that extra 15% with the extra interest rates. And now we have to conclude of whatever the board says. You gave an example. You said, oh, the city is trying to come to a point that everybody's not even understanding. We could kind of come to an agreement. So what is that agreement? Is it 6 units? Is it 5 units? Like, what would be best?
There's no way for us to know without looking at the numbers. I know you're saying that it's 7. It has to be 7. But
that was what was approved, sir.
No, hang on. Let's just hypothetically, you said that.
Yeah, we're just going in circles here. If you want to go forward, I think that you need to provide the board with a cost-benefit analysis. We can schedule that for next month. Probably if you get that to us within a reasonable amount of time before the hearing, then I think the board could probably commit to coming to a decision at that time. We've had a number of new information tonight since you were here. You brought a lot of things forward for the board to consider. And I think the best thing to do from your perspective and from the board's perspective would be to table it for tonight, come back sometime before the next meeting with a cost-benefit analysis in detail that shows the board, what the likely return is. And, that might be the best way to go forward. I don't know if the board is in agreement with that
Would
or
we
not.
be able to still hear the public comments?
Yes, you can still hear them today. in
Can I
fact,
just
yeah.
ask a question before? So for how many units should I do this for? Because if 7 was allowed, should I do it for a 7? Should I do it for a 6? Because now if I do it for 6, we have to rip everything out. Now my architect is going to charge me again. The city might say, well, now, the sprinkler company is going to charge me. So now it becomes unforeseen money.
You're seeking a variance for 7 units,
Right,
right?
correct.
I think your cost-benefit analysis at a minimum would address why 7 units is required in order for you to make a reasonable return. You have additional costs because some of the construction has already proceeded. If you were to reduce that number of units, you can show that in an analysis also.
I would.
But it's your facts and figures that will educate the board as to what the situation on the ground is.
Your own architect indicated He's done this before. And my indication is that the more information we get, the better. So I would go from, 7 and lower as far as you can go, where and just come up with the numbers. I mean, it's the same analysis, whether you're going 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. It's the same analysis, but the cost will change.
Well, the cost is going to change dramatically because I have to pretty much rip everything out.
Well, then you indicate that in your.
I'll show that. Yeah, well, again, that gives more hardship because now it's more time, it's more labor, but it's fine. If that's what the board is asking of me, then that's what I'll do.
So, I mean, you should indicate if that's what you want.
That's what the board is asking of me, correct? Is this,
I can only tell you what I think. I would have a spreadsheet and I would have a column, 7 units, column 6 units, column 5 units. And I'd have my cost itemized per unit. And it would show me what it would cost to do the 7 versus the 6 versus the 5.
And we've been provided those from other presentations before.
and now we have to assume the cost that already has been included by the spending, the carrying cost. So I'm going to have to put all that. And
Yes,
That's relevant.
okay.
and you've got to have a return on equity. What?
I don't think there's going to be a return on equity,
Well-
but
Well, I'm trying to.
I actually know that.
Show that.
Right. So now, I mean, I don't even know if I could afford it. This is, wow.
You should be able to do this yourself for the most part, don't you think?
Ma'am, I operate 165 units.
To that, let me ask you a question. So you said that you have a bunch of other multi-units close to this house?
I have three others on the same street.
What are those addresses, if I may ask?
Is it relevant to?
Yeah, because I need to know, because one of the things of these 4 is is it a detriment to the neighborhood? So I'd like.
Why? But if we're here for one property, why
Because
this?
that's part of what, if your houses are all in a 2-family location and there's a 7 unit, then I have a problem.
But there isn't.
I know, I'm just asking. what
The
average
one that was approved by the city, we're actually in the department on the same floor. No, I'm answering your question, man. So the same floor that we're on, where I was permitted to put this into a 7-family, was the one that gave me permission to convert it to a 7-family.
We're
The
not-
same floor that we're on.
I'm not questioning that. I just wanted to know what the address is.
But I don't understand. We're here for one address, not another address. So I don't understand your point, man.
Would you rather she ask the assessor?
No, I'd be more
Then
than
why don't
happy.
you
But I just don't understand.
Because one of your requirements that you have to meet is that your variance doesn't change the essential character of the
So
neighborhood.
3028 6th Avenue.
Yep,
3006 6th Avenue,
that's the one in.
next door,
talking about.
correct? And 3072 6th Avenue.
3072?
3072 6th Avenue.
Okay, thanks. So, wait a minute, aren't we talking 3006?
No, we're talking
Oh,
3004.
sorry. Okay. And those are all over 3 or something? They would be comparable to what you're doing?
Those are threes. Those are threes, though.
Oh,
The 3072 is a 1.
One family?
It's a 1 family.
And the others are three families?
Yes. And there's several other units on the block. There's a very, very assorted range of multifamilies on that block.
I'm just trying, I mean, that would be something you could also present to your benefit.
Okay.
We are trying to actually help you.
Yeah.
According to what we're supposed to be doing.
According to our tests, we have to support our motions.
No, ma'am. Look, ma'am.
This board, that's what we're talking about. This board.
Just
Right. No, I understand, but on the permit, it says approve.
I know,
Right?
That's not us.
I mean,
That's not
no,
us.
that's, but
Yeah.
then there should be two departments when you go to reconstruct the building, just not one. You can't say, your mom gives you permission to go play. Dad comes home and dad can't veto what mom said. You can't do that. If mother gave permission to the son to play, he has permission to play. The father cannot punish the kid. But now I'm being punished.
Your house, maybe.
I'm glad you guys are finding humor in this. It's not right. This is on my hardship. This is on my dollar.
We understand, sir.
We understand.
Fully
We
understand.
are understanding.
We're very understanding.
We're
The city
We're
wants you to.
trying to-
With information, sir, we're trying to have this resolved.
Okay. So how, now based on what you're asking me, am I going to get it email or stating what you exactly are asking me now? Because now you're asking me a lot. I did everything that was already asking me, and it put me in this place. Is that safe to say?
Your own architect indicated he is fully aware of what a cost benefit analysis is. So, I mean, that's
And
what we're asking
so
for.
so is the building department capable of approving permits, and it put me in this situation. So you are the board. What is it that you're asking of me? Can I have it in written detail in black and white transparency so I know exactly what to provide? I think I'm asking a fair question.
It's all on video, so.
I think he's
So
asking.
the video is online.
Yeah. it'll be posted
And
online tomorrow.
we've been going on for over 2.5 hours.
Yeah, Wally, all this will be the video of all this and their questions, which you can review at your leisure and your team's leisure. It's all going to be posted either tomorrow or the day after online.
You want to ask?
There's someone from the public that would like to come up and speak. Mike?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Hello, everyone. My name is Lamont Walters. Can you hear me?
Now I can.
Okay, yeah. So, now I am a licensed commercial and residential roofer. I am with Local Union 241. I am also licensed certified for asbestos removal and as well as lead removal. I've been knowing Wally for like 5.5 years. And I do a little work with him sometimes and help him out from time to time. And I just want to say, I'm also a tenant of his, and he's an excellent landlord. And he's always on top of everything, and he makes sure that he takes care of whatever's requested or if there's ever any problem with no issues, and he does it promptly. I also want to say, this man is providing homes for people who can't afford housing with the way the prices, the cost of living is today. And he's also helping fix up the communities from seeing a lot of abandoned buildings not looking good in the communities, and actually has an effect on, the prices of the homes in the communities as well. So he's doing a great job in actually adding some type of positive element to the communities. And it breaks my heart. And it will actually break my heart if he's unable to continue to do so, because it's a positive thing. And we need more people like him in the community to help people out so that our community will be better altogether. It's about, building the community up for us all, because it also allows everyone that owns homes, when the communities come together and all the houses are built up properly and fixed up in the community, we all know that the costs go up as well. And it's a positive thing. So if I'm asking if you can give the man an opportunity and be lenient on him and work with him, that's all I'm saying. I'm giving him a lot of credibility and acknowledgement from what I've known since day one, and he's doing a positive thing. That's all I have to say. He's a
you.
good man.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Very nice. Anyone else?
Anyone else? Ladies?
You may want to grab that microphone and put it in your hand like you're on stage.
Okay, the same people from the last meeting, Tina Yersin from the Neighborhood Association.
Joyce Daniels from 30,000 Sixth Avenue.
Stephanie Floyd, 3000 Sixth Avenue, Troy.
My concern is if your city let them put all these apartments in a building, where is the parking facilities? And Mr. Waldo, if you paid $110,000, they owed you money. Because there was two people ahead of you that bought.
Would you kind of address the board?
Can't hear you, ma'am.
There was two people ahead of Mr. Waldo who bought the building.
Speak into the mic. There you go. Like you're on stage.
There was two people before Mr. Waldor that bought the building for like $46,000. And then he comes back and say he paid $110,000 for it. It's not the idea that we're concerned about the building as much as the apartments he's trying to put in there. There's too many apartments in there. And I've been there 44 years in my house. And those two houses, 3004 and 3006, are three-family houses. And there's a basement in both of them. And nobody has ever lived in those basements. And that house has been on fire 3 times since I lived there.
I used to live at 3006 Sixth Avenue also, and it was a 3-family house. It was a basement. Nobody lived there. Now, my concern as being a neighbor to 3004 Sixth Ave, that which has been on fire 3 times, or if not more, where's the parking going to be? I asked Wally, I said, hey, this is our house right here on 3000 Sixth Ave. We have an alleyway, and then there's 3004. I said, if our maintenance man needs to get between the alleyway, when he put that lock there, can we have the combination? We don't use that alleyway, but if our maintenance man needed to come and fix something on the side of our house where it is, can I get the combination? I never got the combination. Okay, no big deal. We never had to use it since that lock was put there, but now the lock is broken, so it's being hung on by a nail. And then Wally says he had people sign a petition. Who are these people that signed the petition? Do they live at 3006 Sixth Avenue? Where do they live? They're not our neighbors. We don't know. Who are these people that signed the petition saying, okay, we want you to put 7 units there? I'm against 7 units. If he put 4 units there, okay, no problem. Parking is a problem. He said he did an analyst. Okay, come in the morning where everybody is going to work. Of course, you're going to get as much parking as you want. But in the evening, there is no parking 9 times out of 10. And there has been squatters in that building. Parking is a problem. And like Ms. Tamara said, there are too many apartment buildings in the city of Troy. That's all Troy is a bunch of apartment buildings. And it seems like every house that he's buying now, that he's saying he wants to convert it to 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 units. This is not the projects. This is a residential neighborhood. I'm against 3004 having 7 units because we've been there over 44 years and we've had some good neighbors and we've had some bad neighbors. And like I said, it's a 3-family house and it has a basement. 3006, 3-family house. I used to live there on the 1st floor and a basement. And I just feel that we don't want a 7 unit next to our house. That's what I have to say. Yes, sir.
I have 2 questions.
Yes.
Had a lot of questions when I started, and I said I was confused about a gangway.
That's the
or
alleyway.
an alleyway.
Well, it's the, you could.
Let me finish,
Yes.
please.
Yes.
Who owns that gangway? Who owns that alleyway?
I'm not sure if It's his house, but when we've had neighbors in the past, if we had it to get between their, all, if they had a lock on it or whatever,
So
we would ask.
if you were searching for a solution, I would think Mr. Avora might provide what you're requesting, a lock with a key or a lock with a combination.
Mhm.
And if that problem were to go away, the other objection I'm hearing has to do with parking or cars. And I thought I heard Mr. Avora say something about putting an easement into a deed that would provide off-street parking up the block that would not tie up or block.
What way up the block?
Well, I'm not a magician. I'm just trying to get solutions to questions. And if Avora wants to come back up and talk about the gangway issue, accessibility, a key lock, giving you a key, or giving you a combination, or doing an easement for parking, I would think that he might come back in January along with the fiscal analysis.
And I
And
think you.
I'm not
also-
done.
Oh, sorry.
And have some solutions to these issues or questions that I think are valid, that are being raised.
Agreed.
Now I'm done.
Thank you. And I think, if memory serves me, you raised an issue with regards to a tree.
There's a tree in the backyard, a 3004, that needs to be cut down. Because like I said, if it's a rainstorm, windstorm, or whatever, and that tree starts swaying, it's coming over, I believe, into our property. It's gonna fall into our property or maybe the next house over. And I do have pictures of the tree in the backyard.
Let me just ask you.
sorry.
I know, I'm done.
So, and you have yet to speak, which is fine. I don't know if there's any more people in the audience. But let me ask you three ladies, since you're at the podium. If he could, all of us, find a parking solution, would that temper your resistance to this project, or are you still against it?
Still against
And-
it.
Okay.
No, if they were.
And so explain, that's what I'd like you to explain further, because parking seems to be a recurring topic. So if the parking is not actually the problem, I just want to know what your resistance is. And that all of you can each, however you want to answer that.
Okay, the parking is an issue
Yes.
because there's only 2 spots out in front, and he said maybe he can make arrangements up the street, but like Joyce said, Mrs. Daniels, where? And would anybody actually use that, or they all try to be the only ones that get in front of the house?
Right.
Outside of that, you still have the social nightmare of all those people in that house. He said that someone would be taking care of the garbage cans, putting them in the basement, but that 7th apartment's supposed to be going in the basement. So how does that work? Does somebody smell garbage all week while they're in there
Let's back
sprinkling
the
the
buck
summer?
up on that.
What's that?
Garbage cans would be stored in the basement, but the basement would be one of the 7 units?
Yes.
I'd like to.
2 on the first, 2 on the second, 2 on the third,
I
and
can
1
do
in the
math.
basement. Yeah,
I would just like to hear him speak to that.
yeah, yeah. So that's a problem.
Fine.
And as the head of the neighborhood association for 25 years, of all of our problems we ever had in South Lansingburg or North Central was always overcrowding of houses that absentee landlords took from a 2 or a 3 or a 1 or a 2 and broke them down, and it became a social nightmare. Police calls all the time, arguments all the time. And nowadays, things are worse. Now when there's an argument in the street, it's not like, oh, get out of here, and you call a lot of vulgar names at each other. You pull out a gun and shoot. It's scary. And for the Daniels to be living next door to that, I mean, we tried to resolve this years ago, and Tim and Tice told us zoning was planning, changing, so we could de-densify that area and restore it to what it was originally. I mean, these houses were built in the horse and buggy days. You know, nobody had cars out in front. You didn't have 2 cars per apartment, sometimes maybe 3. You never know. Every situation is different. But you try to, prevent it when it's first starting instead of after it's already been, oh, okay, maybe it'd be good, and find out this is a damn nightmare. We don't have the resources in the city anymore, the police, deal with these types of things all the time. So that's one of the big, big, big issues.
Okay.
I have a question also.
Sure.
The gangway that's an issue, or the alleyway between the two houses, is that between, I forget what your address was, ma'am. So it is between 3004 and 3000. Okay. Earlier, someone mentioned that I think it was another.
Between 4 and 6.
Yeah. So it is the alleyway that you're having an issue with, the gangway, is between the property in question, the 3004 6th Avenue, and 3000, right next door to each other. Okay.
To get in there.
Thank you. Thank you.
All we needed to have a way of getting in there if we had a problem in my house. That's all we were looking for.
Just wanted to just clarify, because it was earlier they talked about it differently.
Yeah. And I think that's pretty much it.
Okay.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for the attention.
Anybody else?
Actually, we have anybody else on, has any comment?
Yes.
Can I make a comment?
Yeah, is there anybody else who would like to go and speak before Mr. Varro?
Yes, can I make a comment online?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, hi. My name is Lion. I am a property manager and landlord on that street. Have been for about 7 years, and generally actually further in that neighborhood. And I will tell you, when searching for a tenant, my number one hurdle that I have to overcome when finding someone who's a good fit is parking. Everyone is always concerned about street parking. So it's a point of weakness in that neighborhood, which makes my job as a property manager, as a landlord, more difficult. Because being real, everyone has a car, whether or not people say Troy is walkable or there's public transportation, it's still the fact that everyone has a car, and it is an ongoing issue that I face. Within that block, I just want to make you all aware, 30-6 is a 3-unit where 2 units are currently occupied. The 3rd unit on the 3rd floor is not occupied, which means that's another unit coming online. Across the street at 3027, it's the old Mance building that is being converted into 8 apartments, at least 8 apartments. Further up the block at 3075, as this gentleman who's installing the sprinklers just made note of, that is another 12 units coming online. And then I know another landlord who owns a 3-unit on that street, as well as another 2-unit on that street. He is also renovating and bringing those apartments online. So although Wally, I am sympathetic to the financial hardships of this, but typically from a property or a developer's perspective, there is an order of operations where you consider zoning and any variances prior to applying for permits and being issued them and starting construction. And it's like there's a sequence to go by, his problem, I'm sympathetic toward it. However, even if Wally can solve for the parking with his specific 7-unit, you still have to account for the whole ecosystem of that neighborhood and all the other apartments that are going to be coming online in the next couple of months or within the next year. And it's going to be a nightmare. So that's the parking is my major concern. It's a very busy street, and every time people jaywalk all the time, it's like every opportunity to get hit or to have your car swiped. And I actually have to advise my tenants sometimes to park on Middleburg next to School 1, because there's usually more parking in that space. But then once again, you're having to cross the street, a busy intersection, and it's always like a danger factor. So that is my 2 cents, and I hope you take it into consideration.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Anyone else here or online like to speak?
Just curious on the cost analysis. This is Seth from Matthew Sprinkler. If he does the analysis on a 7-unit and somebody decides that he's making too much money,
No.
does he have to drop it down to a 6-unit?
That's not,
That's not what the
That's-
cost analysis suggests.
I mean, if
It-
it proves that he spends X amount of money on the building and it verifies that the 7 units okay, I guess, right?
No, what the cost analysis does, think of multi-columns. 4 unit versus 5 versus 6 versus 7. What would it cost to build, complete, modify, or amend to go to a 4? What are the rents you would get on a 4? And show the return on equity. You do the same for the 5, the 6, the 7.
So that's going to determine how much money he can make on
No,
the building?
it-
or- I mean, if he
No.
got if the 4 unit makes money, then he has to do the 4 unit?
No,
Okay,
I think you're missing my whole point.
I think I am too.
What a cost analysis means to me is if I expend X dollars doing this and I get Y dollars in rent or revenue, what is my return on equity?
I understand that. So
well,
Now, compare that to the 5th unit or the 6th unit. So you've got a spreadsheet where you can look at what's reasonable. I don't care if he makes $1 million a unit. That doesn't.
that's what I'm
phase
asking.
me
What
in the
what
least.
is reasonable exactly though?
Well, that goes back to return on
If,
equity.
I guess if he made the same on a 4 unit as he's going to on the 7 unit, then why do the 7 unit if you can make the same amount of money? I
Again,
understand that.
that's conceptual, but we have an obligation, as I indicated before, under the use variance to satisfy all 4 tests. And one of the tests is the property is able or unable to provide a reasonable return unless the variance is approved.
Okay.
This will help us.
What is a reasonable return?
The numbers will indicate that to us. We have to see the numbers. This is all conceptual.
No, I
Until-
get looking at it. I'm just kind of lost as,
If
We
I'm
don't- we don't
losing,
make
if I'm losing $10,000 a month cash flow, I have a negative return on equity for a 4 unit.
yes.
But if I can break even on 5 or make a 10% positive cash flow on 6, that demonstrates maybe I need the 5 or the 6 versus the 4.
But why can't I go 7 and make more money though?
I'm not, okay.
No, I'm not.
I give up.
I'm just, it's somewhere there's a limit there. We can't do 10 units in this building because,
Well, we have
No,
other
but-
non-cost issues that you've heard from the public comments.
yes.
So we have to look at the numbers and then all the other tests that we have to look at
Okay.
as well.
I just wanted to, for myself,
It's
just to
one
know
of
that.
many factors, but it will help us review the situation.
Okay.
No set number for reasonable rate of return. It's reasonable in all the circumstances
Yes.
that we are aware of.
Okay. Thank you.
One other point, that these considerations aren't just a Troy thing. They're like a standard for all zoning boards, from my understanding.
Well, use variance.
All use variances, yeah, sorry. Yeah, so this isn't the city of Troy coming up with these 4 things. This is everybody.
Statewide.
Yeah.
We're going to ask him if he wants to in January or he wants to vote to
Back in February.
or February.
Do-
Yeah.
uh,
You want to come back in February?
You should ask if there's any more public questions.
He's done that
Okay.
3 times.
All right, we're good then.
Please.
But good evening all again. And to the neighbors, I believe your name is Joyce, correct? Yes, I have Joyce's phone number. I have texts of Joyce and I communicating. Wally, the gangway, what about it? It belongs to me. Oh, it's dirty. Okay, I'll clean it. I haven't got my permit yet, Joyce. I can't do anything. Joyce texts me again. Wally, there's people. I'm like, there's people what? The building is boarded up. There's no one in there. My guys are working there. There's no one in the building. So there's been communication. Have you and I had communication, Joyce? It's just a yes or no question. Because No, your daughter.
You have to address us.
No, I understand. No, I understand, but we have text messages and that we've communicated. Now, the gangway belongs to me. I have no problem cooperating with Joyce. If she needs access to the gangway, I'll be more than happy to give her access to the gangway. No problem at all with that. No problem at all. The other question, they have a concern of criminal activity. The other lady, I do an extensive background check on all my tenants. I do a background check to see if they've been evicted, if they have any criminal activity, if they ever been arrested. I don't allow anyone in there that isn't a working person, that's going to be good for the neighborhood, because I don't want a headache. So I'm not just going to let any individual in my properties. I invest hundreds of thousands into these businesses. So why would I let a criminal in one of my apartments? Ma'am, I do a background check. I have a few of my staff members that are here are the ones that operate that. Is everyone here familiar with Appfolio? Okay.
You know what, though? I don't want to.
That's all
This is immaterial.
I have one more
to
question.
us.
Sure.
That they raised was that the garbage cans were going into the basement where the apartment.
Yes. Go ahead.
That's it.
Okay. The unit, there's a utility room where Seth is putting the sprinklers, and there's another utility room where the garbage. So these rooms are closed off, have a door. There's a partition wall which divides the unit in the basement, which was approved, from
So the
the.
unit is separate from where the garbage cans.
That's
were
correct.
stored.
Yes.
That's all.
Yes.
That was the question.
Yes.
I,
And for the parking, real quick, again,
Who's
the-
pulling the cord?
for the question for the parking, there was another concern with the parking. I want to work with the community. I'm for the community. I'm for the people. Okay? Let me make that very clear. If she has my number, she has my phone number. I volunteered my number to her, to all the adjacent neighbors. And the lady actually just called in. I purchased the building from her. That was kind of funny to me. That was hilarious. That's Lyman Nicholas. I bought the building from her, the adjacent building. That's why she knew how many tenants are there. So it's kind of behooved to me. Why was she? I'm a bit puzzled.
well, there might have been some confusion, but what I'd like to ask, in the time frame that hopefully the next board meeting, that you'll hopefully provide the cost benefit analysis. If you could, since you have the phone numbers of the neighbors.
And those people are from 6th Avenue.
Right.
Yes.
Right, but if you have the numbers already, if you could come up with a little bit more of a detailed plan for when you come before the board again with regards to possibly that tree removal or something addressing the tree.
Can I ask in regards to okay, aren't we all for saving the trees?
Well, whatever.
Whatever happened to that?
Well, whatever, there are
So
other.
are we just now trying to think of things
I've
to
never seen the tree, sirs.
This would have to go through planning as well, where something like that could be addressed, Evie. I just want to.
yeah, I got to get a permit
Yeah.
to remove a tree. I can't just go and cut a tree.
Coordinate with the people who voice their concerns, whether it's the gangway, whether it's the parking easement at that other location, and present to us, look, we looked at this tree, it's healthy, it shouldn't be a safety issue, something,
Ma'am,
because we don't know.
ma'am, in respect to your question, if I get home tonight and I park my car facing the driveway and my neighbor comes to me, well, I don't like the way you park your car. I want you to, this is what we're arguing. It's something so silly. I really don't understand it, but I'm willing to work with people.
Well, that's all
I'll make the gangway, I'll put a lockbox. Everybody, the whole block, I have access to the lockbox, okay? The tree, I need permission. I'm not going to cut a tree.
Understood,
Okay.
understood. If you
Now, the parking is concerned, if they say, okay, if it's a legal 3-family, I'm maxing 4. That means there's 4 additional units. That's 4 additional parkings. I'll make sure, as the gentleman here stated, that on one of my deeds, which is up the block, it's not even maybe 100 yards. I'll put, on that deed that I accommodate the additional 4 parking spots.
All I'm saying is, with regards to something outlining that,
Okay,
the address,
sure.
the proposal, the coordination with your neighbors, a inspection of the tree, something that gives us more information than we have now.
But we're talking about trees now? I mean,
I'm just,
okay, I got it.
it's just coordinating with your neighbors.
Mr.
That's
Moore,
all.
respectfully, could you adjourn, and come back next month then?
Uh,
Or would you like us to vote on it now?
Okay, yes, yes,
You
thank
come
you.
back next month?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
So don't we have to make a motion to
So
take?
I'll make a motion to table this until our February meeting, the first Wednesday.
I'll second.
I vote to approve.
Approve.
I vote to approve tabling until next month.
Thank you.
And I just,
Approve. I mean, he's got to approve.
Thank you all.
I want to express our appreciation for your willingness to come back to us with this further information.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity to come back with all the documents that have been required. And again, it's just been an emotional day. There's a lot going on here. Thank you for understanding that. I appreciate everyone's time here, and I hope you all get home safe. And
I like-
on our next meeting, I hope everything works out and I can leave here a happy camper.
Thank
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
Approve.
Approve.
Approve to adjourn.
Yes.
Thank you. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
I know. Well, you should understand what the remit of the zoning board is, then we wouldn't have these conversations.
Trees, parking easements.